Today on Brilliance Business TV, we have the wonderful Laura Barker. Laura is an attorney by trade, but an entrepreneur at heart. She is an international business owner, consultant and trainer who works with business owners and professionals to maximize their growth opportunities while minimizing risk. Stay tuned. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have a wonderful guest today. Let me ask you a question. How are your LinkedIn skills? We have the wonderful Laura Barker, so stay tuned. We are streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're also streaming on MSP News Global.com and the E360 TV network under fresh takes going out to Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Roku, and many more. And we're also on Business Innovators Radio Network. I just want to make an official shout out to our show sponsors, Dreamweaver Artist Ranch. So let's bring in our incredible guest, Laura Barker. Laura, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you, Mark. It is a pleasure to be here.
So my first question, Laura, where in the world are you?
Right, we all are global now, right? I
We
am
are.
in the wonderful state of Tennessee in the U.S.
Beautiful. Tell us, Laura, how did you get into entrepreneurship? How did you become an entrepreneur?
Thank you for the question. So it's kind of funny. I've always had this entrepreneur in my blood. I just didn't know what it was called. When I was 11, I had my first business. I went and talked the local newspaper into letting me have a paper route, and ended up having to carry those papers around in a little red wagon because I was too small to carry them. So that was my first official business. But then I went on to have more substantial businesses, you might say. I got my law degree. I had my own law firm for quite a number of years and practiced law. But really, my heart is with business.
Yes.
I love the law, but I really love business. So I've gone on to grow several different businesses now. I've got an international e-commerce business that has been very successful. But my focus right now is with Barker Business Solutions. And this has become my passion because I love to be able to help entrepreneurs, salespeople, anyone struggling to fill their pipeline consistently, to be able to get those one-on-one meetings that really move the needle. And I've created some systems that are very successful across industries. So I love being able to share that.
And that is a great skill, Laura, because to build a successful business, we need leads. You need those phone calls. You need face-to-face conversations, which then lead to sales. So it's really important what you do. And I know you do a lot of work with LinkedIn. Why is that your platform of choice?
Great question, Mark. So LinkedIn is the platform for business. We call it one of the social media platforms, but it is different than all of the others. All of the others are focused on the social part. But LinkedIn made the decision, I guess at its onset, that it was going to be there to serve business professionals.
Yes.
It has stayed true to that mission. So when I was looking for the platform that would best serve my business as well as my prospects and clients, LinkedIn was the natural choice for me. Now, I'll confess that my intention had been to go in, get LinkedIn kind of nailed down, get a solid pipeline going and my systems in place, and then maybe branch out into another platform. But the honest truth is, I've just stayed with LinkedIn because it keeps my calendar full and it communicates to the people I'm trying to reach, which is other business owners, salespeople, corporate sales teams who want to move the needle.
What makes you so prolific with LinkedIn, Laura?
Wow, that's a really good question. So about, gosh, it's probably been 6 or 7 years ago now. I really needed to expand my reach in terms of who I could market to, connect with, have a sphere of influence with. And as I looked around, I thought, well, LinkedIn is that place. But I also looked at LinkedIn and realized right off the bat, maybe it wasn't quite as user friendly as I would have liked, right? A lot of people, including myself, can be intimidated by LinkedIn. I'm not anymore, but certainly when I first looked at it, I really didn't know how to navigate it. So I decided rather than just start trying random efforts, that I would really learn how to use all of the features that LinkedIn gives us. I spent an immense amount, probably 6 months or more, of just intensive training on LinkedIn, both through LinkedIn itself as well as some other LinkedIn experts, reading books, just getting up to speed on everything. What I found was that once I understood all of the moving parts, I was able to really craft a system that is now called the Barker 20 method that will allow folks to fill their pipeline, fill their calendars in 20 minutes a day on LinkedIn. I know that may sound kind of like, how can you do that, right? But it does take some preliminary setup. You know, the profile is everything. And that is one of the reasons, and I know you're going to put it up later, but I created a profile guide so that folks can go and use this guide to check their profile against it, maybe revise their profile with some of the tips in there, because everything on LinkedIn centers around that profile.
Well, it's great that you did your own research and really got to know the platform, and then you formulated that system around your experience. You mentioned some of LinkedIn's features. What are some of their top features, Laura?
That's a great question. It really depends on your goal for why you're on LinkedIn. So some people, if you are really there to get new clients, get new business, then the features that are so important are after you develop your profile, because that's important for everybody. But the other features that are so important are the ability to start conversations with people, but you need to know how. And then the LinkedIn gives us so many free features. It's free real estate, folks. You know, if you just think about your profile alone, you've got a banner picture. You can create that in any way that you want. You can put your contact information up there. You can put your website. There's so many ways you can use that, just that one little picture, to promote your business. It's almost like a billboard. They released a name pronunciation feature that I'm very fond of. I'll tell you folks now, though, that if you want to use it, you have to create it from your mobile app. So download the LinkedIn mobile app, go to your intro section, and you can record just a little hello statement to the people visiting your profile. And what's fascinating, Mark, people want to know what you sound like, right?
Yes.
Being able to put a voice with the face just lets people have a little bit of an insight into maybe who you are and how you promote, how you present yourself in the world. So I love to share that free again, a free feature. There are so many free features. They now have a feature called it's your service page. So in addition to your profile page, you get this free service page where you get to go into more detail about the services you provide, and people can actually request a proposal from you, find out more, even in more detail what you offer. You can communicate your specific needs to that service provider and get a quote back or a detailed proposal. Again, all free. So, LinkedIn has some paid uh, upsells, obviously, sales navigator, sales teams, recruiter, that sort of thing. Everything I train, though, can be done on the free version.
And it's worth taking the time to learn these skills, learning the platform to really bring in that business and get those leads. It's worth taking that little bit of effort and time. What do you find most rewarding about being on LinkedIn?
One of the things that really it just lights up my day when I see this happen. So obviously I've spent a lot of time on LinkedIn, and not in the form of posting. However, I do want to make that clear. My time has been in developing my profile and messaging people. What I have seen, though, and this is what I love, is when your profile is really optimized, it is really just dialed in, people will reach out to you. It is like inbound sales calls. And who doesn't love that, right? Don't you want in your inbox on LinkedIn, your direct message, somebody says, "Hey, I see you do LinkedIn training. What's that about?" I'm not making that one up. I literally got that in my message box yesterday. I don't know this person from Adam, right? But when
Yes.
your profile is dialed in, that's what you see. And that's what my students see. So I love, even more than for myself, when my students tell me that they are now attracting their ideal clients. That rocks my world.
It's great having leads come to you rather than you having to hunt for them. It's great work that you're doing, Laura. Laura, we just need to go to a commercial break. Please stay where you are. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for part one of Brilliance Business TV. We're in conversation with Laura Barker, and we've been talking all about LinkedIn. Join us after the commercial break.
Hello, this is Stephen Buckner, and just wanted to tell you I support the Dreamweaver project. It's a great project where artists such as myself will be able to come together and basically collaborate and to have a retreat to feel accepted and welcome. And that's something that artists here and around the world could always benefit from. So I just want to say, please support the Dreamweaver project. I think it's for a great cause, and I salute all the independent artists out there and artists that are signed as well. And have a wonderful day.
Welcome back to Brilliance Business TV. We're in conversation with Laura Barker. Welcome back, Laura.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, I know that was a commercial, but I love supporting independent artists. That's fantastic.
So, Laura, tell us something that people might not know about you.
Super. Oh my goodness. So, well, true confession here. I am a huge Prince fan. Have been like since I was a teenage girl, and I had the opportunity to go and be at the recording at Paisley Park for the 1999 HBO print special. Experience of a lifetime. For
Definitely.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Hey, but you know what, Mark? As we were on break, I had a thought that I really want to just share about LinkedIn
Of
that
course.
people might not know about. Much more important than my personal life, but I love print. So a lot of people don't realize that your LinkedIn profile page will rank above your own website in a Google search.
Yes.
When somebody is looking for you, so number one, if you think you don't have a website, but you're on LinkedIn, you do have a website. And you want to make sure it is representing you well because your profile is going to pull up.
Yes.
Even
Very
if
good for SEO.
absolutely. And speaking of SEO, when you are creating your LinkedIn profile, you must be thinking about SEO terms within your profile because it
Yes.
will help rank you on Google and it will help rank you in the searches being conducted within LinkedIn. SEO is important everywhere, right, Mark?
It certainly is. That's what I do. So I know the power of SEO, Laura. So before we leave LinkedIn for a little bit, can you just share 3 top tips of what people should do on LinkedIn to gain leads, to help them build their business? I know you've got a freebie and a masterclass for people who want more, but just give us a little taster of your 3 top tips.
Absolutely. The first thing I would say to someone is to treat your profile just as importantly as you would treat your website. Devote that much time and effort to it because it is that powerful. But in terms of your profile specifically, when you are thinking about the verbiage that you want to use in your experience section or the about section or really anywhere on your profile, it has to start with your ideal client. If you are not dialed in on who your ideal client is that you serve, and I mean this quite literally, the more specific that you can be, the more successful you will be on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So I often will hear business owners say, "Well, everybody's my potential client." No, they're not. No, you have a niche and you need to figure it out, right, Mark?
Yes.
And especially on LinkedIn, because there are 800 million people there. You have to give them a way to recognize your services as something they need. If your profile does not say to your ideal client, where have you been all my life? If that's not their reaction, work on it some more because that's really what it needs to be screaming to your prospects is I'm the one for you, right?
Yes.
So I'd say number one, get that ideal client nailed down, get a profile written out, be specific, know your niche. Number two is understand the power of what we mean when we say above the fold. Now, if you're in any kind of marketing, y'all know what I mean. But what I'm talking about is what you see on your desktop or your phone before you scroll down or before you click on see more, right? If you aren't grabbing your audience's attention with what is above the fold, you've lost them. Make your headline on LinkedIn, which is that little bit of verbiage right below your name.
Yes.
That has got to speak to your ideal client. It's got to make them want to know more, right?
Yes.
And then you hopefully are getting them to continue to scroll down on your profile and connect with you and reach out to you. And that's what we
Yes.
say is when your profile's doing the heavy lifting.
Great
So,
tips.
yeah, ideal client, dial in on your ideal client, get your headline really to be a grabber. And the other place you need it to be a grabber is in the about section. So, in that about section, we only see the first couple of lines. We got to
Yes.
click see more if we want to learn about you, right? Well, if those first two lines start with, I am this, I am that, I do this, you're not getting anybody's attention. They don't care what you do, right? And I don't mean to be blunt, but it is what it is. They want to know what's in it for me, right?
Yes,
So let's share
definitely.
that with them.
Great tips. If anyone wants more of those, you'll have to get on to the masterclass with Laura. Now, tell us a little bit about Barker 20, the system that you've created.
Absolutely. I realized pretty early on, well, after I educated myself on all of the LinkedIn tips and tricks and cogs and wheels and features, that number one, I didn't have time or interest in posting constantly. You will hear a lot of coaches talk about you got to post daily, you got to write articles, you got to do this, you got to like, comment, share. Those are all great things to do, but they're really PR. Okay. They are not client attraction. So I wanted to create a system that would allow people to get one-to-one meetings on their calendar with their ideal clients. So the Barker 20 method is really designed around, number one, optimizing that profile. And this is the biggest task. Once you've got that task accomplished, the rest is easy peasy as business goes, in the sense that you can now utilize, there are 10 specific income producing activities that you can do on LinkedIn once your profile is optimized. The Barker 20 method teaches you how to use those specific income producing activities in 20-minute segments. Human beings can only focus for so long, right? We are easily distracted in today's world.
Yes.
And you may find this just kind of silly, but I really recommend that people get a timer, like an old-fashioned one. Have some fun with it. I mean, you can use your phone, but I like to get an old-fashioned timer, set it for 20 minutes. And in my system, you are only going to be on LinkedIn for 20 minutes. That's it. You could do it once a week. You could do it 5 days a week. It all just depends on how quickly you want your calendar to fill, right?
Well, 20 minutes is reasonable. You spend time scrolling for hours, not doing anything. So 20 minutes, that's excellent. Now, Laura, I know you're offering a free ebook. Tell us a little bit about that as well, please.
Absolutely. After looking at so many profiles and coming away from them thinking, I have no idea what that person does. I don't know what they are about. I don't have a sense of them. I wanted to create something that would give people a guide to having a highly effective LinkedIn profile. So I created this guide. It's called 3 Secrets of Highly Effective LinkedIn Profiles. I did not want to charge anybody any money for this because this is where you start. This is where it all starts, is with your profile. If people can just start working on that, they will start to see an improvement in their conversations on LinkedIn. They will start to get more connection requests, just taking some simple steps. So that's really what that guide is about. And it covers everything from what should your headshot look like to what kind of headline is, how to create a headline. There's a formula for it. So you don't have to just be sitting around trying to come up with words. There's some really good strategy in that guide to help you create a headline that is going to be appealing to your ideal client.
I would encourage everyone, grab a copy of the ebook, go to barkerbusinesssolutions.com. That's barkerbusinesssolutions.com. Now, I know you hold masterclasses and I know you've got one coming up. Tell us a little bit about the masterclass, and can people still get into it?
Oh, absolutely they can. So we have a masterclass coming up in April, and that is on the before I'm going to mess myself up. I think it's the 12th. It's April 12th before I lose it. So April 12th, it's a 90-minute masterclass. And in this class, we go through all of the sections of your profile and how to optimize them. I also do, during the masterclass, a live profile review. Now, folks have to apply for that because not everybody wants a live review, right? So people sign up for the class and then they can apply to have their profile reviewed live during the class, and everybody really benefits from that. And then I also am providing with that class now a one-on-one consult with me, because what I really want people to take away from this is business, right? I want people getting more business. So if you get the guide, start working on it. Take the masterclass. Let's get that training in place. Once you've done that, meet with me. I'm going to go over it. And I also just will share that I'm not just a LinkedIn training specialist.
Guru.
Right. Well, thank you. But I do have a tremendous amount of business experience. So my consulting, when we do our consult through this masterclass, it's not just about LinkedIn, but it's also about business strategy.
Lots and lots of value, Laura, but LinkedIn is so powerful. So I would encourage everyone out there who is on LinkedIn, wants to get on LinkedIn and really step up LinkedIn with skills to get clients, bums on seats. Go to barkerbusinesssolutions.com/masterclass. That's barkerbusinesssolutions.com/masterclass. I've got that right, haven't I?
Indeed, you have, Mark. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Laura, I have thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you. Thank you so much for being my guest on Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you so much for having me. It is such a joy, and I hope that I will be able to serve some of your listeners and folks hearing this, because that is really that's what lights me up, is to light your business up.
Yes, and LinkedIn is a great way to build business. Thank you everyone for joining us for Brilliance Business TV. We have been in conversation with Laura Barker, entrepreneur, businesswoman, LinkedIn specialist. Until next time, bye for now.